your questions. So if you want to start raising hands, you can do that. I don't think Taylor's in here yet. Normally posts a link on how to raise your hand if you've never done that before.
I think Chris might be subbing in for him.
Normally posts a link on how to. That was weird to get double audio.
That's always when I get the stream going.
Yep. All right. So we're good to go then, Nick?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Well, we still got what, 1 minute left?
Yeah, 1 minute left.
We should probably, since they just got that post in there, we can just give it another minute or two.
Okay.
Give people a chance to get in here.
Extremely rainy morning here in Southern California. Sort of makes the shelter in place a little bit easier, I think. All
right. Chris or Marco, can somebody post how to raise your hand in the chat? That image in there.
And Chris, we mean Art Storefronts, Chris, not you, Chris.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should just have our team all put ASF in their names.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah. Seems a little bit
like I did. You know, you can also change the icon. It looks like, so it has a little Art Storefronts logo. I see that you have that and I have that. So.
Yep. All right. All right. I'm ready when you are, Nick.
Yeah. Emily just said too, last names, customers' last names is helpful too. If you guys can rename yourself with your last name, it helps us find your account in case we need to look at something. Anyways, all right. So we can go ahead and get started here.
Okay, guys, welcome. Office hours. I think this is what, number 12, maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's sort of insane to think that we're already at number 12. So we have one brief update that we want to get into, which Nick, you want to handle it? Or you want me to handle it?
Couple updates, but go ahead. There's a couple I didn't tell you about, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you deal with those. I'll deal with the other one. So, as I said, this is the 12th one of these that we've run. We're getting, just a fantastic amount of feedback from you guys that it's really helping and you're really enjoying it. So obviously we're trying to double, triple down even on them. And one of the things that we've noticed, we ran one for sort of just getting started customers. It went a couple hours yesterday. There was a ton of people on that one. So these seem to be like the preferred way to teach, educate, get your marketing up to speed, get you on the right track and get you rolling. So kind of what we've decided is, we've been throwing out these various different marketing techniques and tactics that we want you to work on, whether it's the Instagram live stuff, whether it's how to run sales and what that language looks like, or whether it's how to contact Instagram influencers as well as the Facebook groups. So our next sort of logical progression in this whole thing as we continue to evolve in the post-COVID world is we're going to start running topic specific, in addition to the 2-day a weeks, or we might adjust things, but we're going to start running topic specific workshops, like i.e., how to run Instagram live, soup to nuts, everything, a live show, walking through every single solitary step of it. You can raise your hands during the course. I understood that. I didn't understand that. I have a question. What do I need to work on? All of those kinds of things. And then just go through it live. If you can make it, great. Love to have you. If not, of course, it'll be available after the fact to be able to watch. And so I think we're going to start with our first one tomorrow, which with like sort of the highest priority, which is, running a sale with the right types of language. And, we especially like this, update your Zoom background / brighten your home sale that we think everybody should get in the water probably as soon as next week, if not this weekend. So we're going to start in on that. And what would that entail? Like literally the copy to use, how to set things up in MailChimp, what you should link to, what the discount should look like, what the language should look like, and then how to execute the entire thing from start to finish, how to omni-channel market it, the whole deal. So you'll be able to just jumped into the workshop, follow along, listen passively, ask your questions, tell us what you get hung up on. We'll walk you through it. And I don't know if we have a time set for that yet for tomorrow, but just look in the group and we'll update you.
I think we're sticking to the same time, if I'm not mistaken, just to keep things easy on everybody.
No, even better then. So it'll just be the exact same time. So for the future, there will never be anything but one time. I love it. So that's the update. We'll see how it goes. Love your feedback. But I think, we're moving so fast and trying to evolve so quickly in this time. Like, we've been throwing a ton of stuff at you, and we can see that the gap is like, here's the technique. We explain it, show a little bit of it, go, and it's just not enough. You need some more like hand holding. So, and description, because it is obviously technical stuff. So that's my update. Nick, over to you.
Yeah. So the other update is, if you didn't see it or attend it yesterday, we have every Wednesday at the same time, we have a marketing launch workshop, and that's specifically for new customers, okay, who haven't really gotten into the marketing yet. And so if that is you, you'll probably want to watch the replay from yesterday. It's better. It's kind of the best spot to be at the very beginning. And you should only be there for probably 1 or maximum 2 sessions, because they're going to do website audits for you. So that doesn't have to be done on this call, or on this workshop. They're going to do the new website giveaway and go through that, answer any questions about it. And then other things that are very important once you've gotten your website live and you're transitioning into starting to do your first marketing. It's a really good kind of handoff from building your site and getting started on the marketing. So that's the marketing launch workshop every Wednesday at the same time, 11 Pacific, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. Okay, so that's really important. So if any of you fit that, then you'll want to go there. The other thing is, we had announced 2 weeks ago today, actually, an exclusive print discount with Bay Photo or Graphic Dimensions for the automated fulfillment. And that's been running for 2 weeks, right? We were trying to encourage everybody to run a sale. Well, we have discovered since that the people that are running sales right now and have the right marketing language, the right tactics, which we're teaching tomorrow. That's exactly what Patrick was talking about tomorrow. That is working right now. And so I have secured these discounts through all of April for Art Storefronts members. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're on Bay Photo or Graphic Dimensions, all through April, that discount is going to apply, right? So it's going to be automatic. You don't have to do anything. For orders that are coming through your website, you're just going to get the discount and extra money in your pocket. But obviously, we're encouraging you to run a discount. It's the concept of when we ask you to discount, we're going to discount too here for you guys. And so that's what's going on right now. And then obviously, if you want to, you can purchase any prints to have them shipped to you. You can do that right in your site manager in the order section. There's a self-made order section. That's where you're supposed to do that. And you'll get the discount on those as well. So, yep. So the main message here is, if you've got a list, you got an email list, you got a following and all that stuff. And regardless, you should do this anyway, but right now is the right time to be sending out a pandemic sensitive sort of discount. And what this is all going behind is the discovery that we had. And I did a whole presentation on this on Tuesday, that home decor sales are surging right now in this pandemic, and the evidence is everywhere now. And I want every Art Storefronts member, I want all of us to be going after this sliver of the art industry that's surging, because people are at home, and there's from every single executive, every millionaire, every billionaire, every single person is at home in their new home office that they're working at. And they're giving a lot more attention. Everybody's giving a lot more attention to their living space and their workspace. And I want you guys to market understanding that, right? So one of the big points I made on Tuesday, and you should watch it if you didn't see it, the presentation's about 12 minutes long, so it's not very long. But one of the big things that I mentioned is that oftentimes in romance marketing, everybody is kind of talking about their inspiration behind the piece, why they created it and stuff like that. And that's one part. Now I want you to add a second part to that. I want you to think about your consumer. I want you to think about the person who you know, is all of, like, any consumers right now that are at home that are in this situation. And I want you to speak to them about how your piece is going to help them, right? So it's not just about you, it's also about them, right? Like, I'm going to help you make your living space and your new workspace more inspiring, productive, peaceful, whatever your art does, right? Creative, whatever it's going to do for them. If you can tap into that and send that out, and the person who's receiving it gets that message and is going, oh my goodness, that's exactly what I'm looking for, right? Like, now that I'm working at home, my office is not dialed in and set up for me to be this creative, productive, you know, person that I need to be. And I think that's where you're going to just hit the bullseye right between the forehead on those types of people. And so, you know, when Patrick was talking about the Zoom backgrounds, obviously we're on a Zoom call right now. So it's basically like, you know, Zoom is the most popular, but I think Cisco has one. I think Microsoft maybe has one too, WebEx or something like that. But
Google's got one.
One of the statements that we made that's being discussed, actually, you mentioned Matt Mullenweg talked about it, but like, the background behind you, you know, on these videos, on these conference calls, I mean, is the new status symbol, right? Like, you can't, nobody's out driving a car anymore. Like, you know, and vanity is a huge thing, right? Vanity it's one of the most, you know, like, seductive selling aspects in the world, right? People really care about their self-image. And so the new vanity, like the new status symbol, is actually like, what is the background? What's your room look like? You know, like, what kind of art do you have on that wall? Like, what is it? And so that's something that we think is a really good one to tap in on next week specifically.
Okay. Should we get into the questions?
Let's get into it.
Okay, guys, raise your hands if you have them. Anything art marketing related, and we will get into them. So I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Temi. You're up.
Okay. Thanks for doing this again. I don't have much of a question really, but I just want to give advice to any of the people who are just joining, since I've been with you guys almost a year now. And I think what I went through, I just don't want nobody else to go through it. When I joined last year, I did not know that you guys had available on the site everything that I need in order to get established. I know what I'm saying might not make any sense, but that's what I thought. I did the marketing as far as I could do it, and I decided to go with a company late last year to help me with the lead capture, you know, whenever you want to capture lead capture. Mm-hmm. And I paid $3,000. Let me just say my husband paid $3,000 for me, and it was a waste. And after listening to you guys on Tuesday, you know, I just, you know, took my time, went through the site again, and I realized that, oh my gosh, everything is here. Word for word, what to do, step by steps, the wordings for people who are just signing up, who are just doing their first giveaway, for those who want to do repeated giveaways, everything is there. So I just want to encourage whoever's on here right now, and if you think that you don't know what to do or it seems too much, go on the site, be patient with yourself. Don't sign up with any other company. I just don't want you to make the same mistake that I made, but it's a lesson learned. And I just want to say thank you guys. And as far as what you guys are going to do tomorrow and the things you're going to do in the future, if you could kindly put the wordings in there, because I'm the kind of person that I'm better off talking.
So you can copy and paste essentially.
Yeah, because I'm better off talking, but when it comes to writing, it seems like I forget what I've just said, which is weird. But if you can do that, and then we can change it a little bit to fit our own way of speaking, it'll really, really help. So I just wanted to say that.
That's exactly the plan. That's exactly the plan.
For sure.
So thank you guys. That's it.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and the name of the company, I'm sorry. The name of the company is called Wishpond. Do not sign up with them. I said it. I'm sorry. If you know them, I'm sorry. Do not. ASF is the place. So that's it.
Thank you, Temi. That was awesome. And that was just amazing. And like, I think we all, even at ASF on this call, learn a lot from that, because we've tried to put everything together, you know, and like we still know that, I mean, I memean, a big role of our support team is like trying to get out there and trying to tell everybody like, hey, this stuff is here. Like these workshops are here like this, because there is so much. I'm sure like every time we do these calls, you know, I talk about a feature and half the people are like, I didn't even know that feature existed, right? Because there's really a lot. It's a very powerful system. And to even add on top of what Temi said, do not buy anything. If you're listening to this, like do not buy any SEO services. Do not hire a third-party firm. If you're even considering spending any money on doing that, please ask us first and tell us why you're doing it or what you're doing before you do it, because we've designed this so that you guys don't ever have to do that again. It's like we're trying to create this incredible marketing product where, because everybody's pitching in, you know, on it, it's like a co-op, right? Like most people could not afford to just go drop $3,000 with a consultant, right? And you know, I know as much as anyone that you spend $3,000 with a consultant, they're only doing like a 2-week project or a 1-week project or something like that anyway, and then it's over, right? And then it's more money and more money and more money, right? So there had to be a way of putting together a marketing product that everybody could access and use, and that's why, you know, that's what we're trying to do, and we're constantly trying to improve it. So thank you so much, Temi. That was awesome. I think a lot of people are going to benefit from that.
Yeah, and I would also just say big picture, like, you know, John Lechner, who we recommend aside, like selling art and photography is not your standard issue everyday marketing. There's like a lot of nuance and tradecraft to it. And so all of these people end up hiring consultants, and for 100 stories we hear about hiring a consultant, maybe 2 are positive. Like, and it doesn't matter if it's SEO or if it's Facebook ads or it's email marketing, whatever it is, it's really hard to find a good consultant. And so, yeah, we certainly recommend against it. And we would much rather have you invest that money intelligently into your business in other ways and use us as your consultants, because that's what we're here for. So enjoyed that thoroughly. Thanks, Temi. Okay, Muffy, you're up. I'm going to unmute you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Muffy.
First, I want you to notice my Zoom background.
Nice.
Perfect.
And I already shot a picture of it so I can put it up when you do the campaign, when you've got the thing all prepped, you know, your verbiage, because I was looking for that this morning and asking about it, but I wanted to give you a small win. Last week after, you know, you suggested generating some new leads, I reached out to my local domestic violence shelter for abused women, and they have a huge base of people here in Naples that are very, very wealthy. And I suggested to them the idea that I would create a painting that I would donate to them to use in a campaign to prevent domestic violence in the home. And I came up with a saying, home should be a safe space to shelter in place. And they love the idea. So now we're in the process. Yeah, so now we're in the process of finalizing. I wrote up a small contract stating what I would do and what they would do. And I'm just waiting for some pictures to come in, and they've agreed to it. So as soon as I get going on that, I think it, you know, I'm just very happy about it. And I think they are too, because I've had a relationship with them, and I'm looking at people I've had relationships with as well as these lead generators. So my question is, how do people track or keep a list of the people they have supported for these lead generation searches? Because, you know, I'm trying to come up with something like a spreadsheet or, you know, something like that. But I was just wondering, is there an easy way to do it? I think that's my first question. And B, I guess I'm still a little confused about how to reach the administrators on the Instagram and the Facebook ones, because some of them I have been able to find, but other ones like interior, when you showed interior design, you showed different pictures. I went through some of those and started looking for ones that might be a match with my work, but I couldn't figure out the best way to contact them. So
okay, we're gonna have a workshop on that coming up, where I'll go through the whole thing start to finish, and everyone can start and stop and ask questions all along the way. And I'll literally contact the people in real time. So you'll see the whole thing. That'll be sometime next week.
Muffy, have you seen the playbook for that specific tactic? There's a
I have.
And it didn't help?
No, I was confused you know, I saw the step-by-step instructions. I copied the verbiage,
Okay.
but it was when I was trying to go to the sites themselves to look for prospects that I was having issues with.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you watch that? I think there was a video at the very top. It was almost like an indiscreet link at the very top of the playbook. And I think it was a video showing Patrick doing it. I don't know if
No,
that
I
was,
didn't see that one.
you didn't see it?
No.
I missed it too. So we should probably call more attention to that, you guys, marketing team in the on that. Let's get that playbook in the show notes here so Muffy can grab it. Yeah, and maybe watch that video. We're gonna do a workshop on it. Like it'll probably be next Friday, to be honest with you. Not tomorrow, but a week from Friday. But go in the meanwhile, see if that video helps you, because I remember Pat did it like right there. He showed exactly where to direct message them on Instagram, and I think that's what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But separate from that, I just want to tell you how stoked I am, how proud I am of like the way that you're talking right now, like just about the lead generation and the way that you're thinking about generating leads and how you contacted this nonprofit and how you're doing that. It's exactly what you want to be doing. Like if you just keep thinking that way and you keep doing more and more and more of those, you're going to be in such a great spot. That's the whole thing. That's how you build a business.
In my past life, I was in advertising sales in public media and newsprint for over 30 years. So I'm used to cold calling on people. It's just having the right process to do it.
Yep, exactly. But that was very creative what you put together there. So like, I got no worries for you. You just keep doing more of that, more and more and more of that, and you're gonna find your way, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I've
got to get that list up.
Yeah, in terms of the contacts, like if you have the email addresses, you want to put them into your ESP. So you want to put them into MailChimp. You know, I don't really understand.
You put them into Art Storefronts first, and that syncs to MailChimp.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. Oh, but Muffy, were you asking, this is actually a really good question because this came up last week with another gentleman. You were asking about how to keep track if you're going to do this like 10 times, right? Like with 10 different people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would do is you know, and we should probably put a template together for this, like a spreadsheet. Chris, let's do something like this, but you'd have like the name of whoever it is, and then in another column, you could have what's called a UTM source, UTM_source. Okay. Now we've got an article on this. I want to get this in the show notes, Chris. Taylor was actually working on this last week. But what happens, Muffy, is you can give them a link to your website, but you put this special code on the end of the link, right? And it's this article is going to show you how to do it. But
okay.
It's basically,
so I'm getting a little confused listening to it right now.
Yeah. I'm sure people will. But let's just say that each one of these organizations, you can give them a unique link, right? And that link has tracking on it that if anybody comes to your site from that link, you're going to know that it was from that company, you know, that email that they sent out or whatever they did. And then if anybody buys anything from you, you actually can see the sales that came as a result.
That's what I'm looking for.
Of that like marketing initiative that you did. And you can export the sales like into a spreadsheet, and like you can see it in the sales reporting section, in the stats section. So it's really cool. So that way, like it's useful for exactly what you're talking about. It's useful for basically like anything. Like if there's somebody who's going to sell your art for you, or like a restaurant, or, you know, something like that. And like somebody, you know, goes on a link and comes back, you're able to like track those sales and pay them a commission, you know, and show them like, hey, you sold X amount through your link and through your promotion. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. No, that was my main question.
So so we'll put that in the show notes, the article for that. And I think you'll be good to go from there. If you have any questions about it, just make sure that you ask the support team or in Small Wins. Okay.
I was going to say, I worked with the support team this morning because I went back and did a website check to see if everything was working right after making some more adjustments and adding photos to my site. And it said my SEO wasn't working right. So I went back online and, got support to help me out, and we got that all sorted out. So
Great.
they're very, very helpful.
Awesome. Props to the support team. We
Thanks.
love it.
Nick, switch upper right-hand corner. You've got gallery view going on rather than speaker view. And then Ron, you're up next. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you right now. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. The answer to my question may be the same as part of the answer to the previous question. My question is, okay, we get these people, they're interested. How do we actually run, particularly in Instagram, how do we run something that turns out beneficial to us besides maybe a sale? How do we get leads out of running a giveaway on somebody else's Instagram account?
So what would happen in that scenario is that, you find an Instagram account, they have a ton of followers. You say, hey, let's run a giveaway to your followers. I will print and ship the order wherever. And what usually happens is you get in a negotiation with them. And sometimes they kind of set the tempo, they set the pace early on, and you kind of just have to see how that goes. The easiest way to do it would be, I'll give this thing away to you and your group. Okay. All I ask back is that you use my @ handle and you reference the fact that I'm having a sale after the winner is announced. And so in your Instagram profile, in your bio, will be announcing what that sale is and having a link to the site. And the idea is that after it's all over and everybody waits to hear who the winner is, that's when attention is really, really high. Everyone will see it. If they like the work, they'll see that handle, they'll go and click your profile, they will follow you, which is sort of the lowest benefit of the whole thing. And then ideally click on that web link. Then you've got them on the site. Then you hit them with the lead capture. Then the sale is there. So that's
with the giveaway, they're going to go to the giveaway landing page on your site, and they're going to just sign up right there because they can't enter the giveaway without signing up. And now they're on your email list.
This is why we need to have the workshop. I'm talking about the easiest way to ship it, which is, you
this is according to the playbook, what I just mentioned. That's what's in there.
Yeah, well, no, there's two different versions running, which is why we got to clarify this whole thing in a workshop. The easiest way to get it done, the way that I'm advocating is, when you contact this influencer, all they're looking to do is they're saying, I'm going to give you some of my free attention and you're going to do something awesome for my audience. And so trying to convince them to, instead of giving a piece away just to their group, by going to your website and entering in all the contact information. If I'm an Instagram a content curator, I'm going to say, I don't know about that. That seems like a little bit too much friction. I want to show what the piece is, reference your @ handle, say, here it is, enter to win, leave a comment, whatever, however they want to do it. And again, we'll get into this in the workshop. And then after the fact, when they announce the winner, you say, for those that didn't win, here's a link to his Instagram profile. There's a link to the sale in there. You can buy it for the next 48 hours only at this discounted price. So that's the easiest way to run it, the lowest friction way to run it. Does that make sense, Ron?
Okay. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And I'm going to go through the whole thing on Friday. But really, you're looking to forge a relationship with the Instagram account, right? And like they might throw out all kinds of wacky things, or they might have some particular ideas of how they want to run it. A fantastic thing to ask for is if they're amenable to it, is to say, like, if you like, we can do an Instagram live together, and I'll hold up the piece in the background, I'll explain it, I'll explain my inspiration, I'll show you the sides, I'll show you that's ready to hang, all of those good things. And then what that'll allow you to do is get some extra and additional exposure. But again, I'll cover all of this in the in-depth, the in-depth workshop on it after the sales one, because the sales one tomorrow is the most important.
Coolness. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Ron. Okay, Kimberly, you're up next. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Hi, I'm working my way through the April 2020 marketing for the pandemic, and I started my sale today. And first of all, I wanted to say thank you, because it couldn't be more complete than that. I mean, the text is there. That's the thing that always messed me up really bad in the past, is I think in images and not words a lot of the time.
Right.
And it's all written. And so I got my email in there, And I thought, oh, what on earth am I going to do for a photo? And then I noticed it said right there, put a picture of yourself in the studio. And I'm like, okay, I got this covered. But so I wanted to do something else, but I didn't know if this was romance marketing or not. So I'm following that playbook, but I got some prints using the discount. One is on canvas and the other one's on metal. And so I was thinking about doing a little video and going, oh, look what I got, and these are ready to hang. And then mentioning the sale, or is that like batting people over the head with it too much?
No, not at all. I think that's fantastic. I think that's a great way to go about it. And absolutely, like, you know, there's nothing more powerful than you're the personal brand, holding the work, showing it off, and explaining that it's ready to go. It's ready to go on your wall. It's ready to be your Zoom background, or just to brighten your space as we shelter in place. So I think that's a great way to go about it.
I love it.
Thank
I think
you.
that's a great idea. I think everybody should take a hint right there on that. You know, it's like it in the same way, Kimberly, as you mentioned, like, you know, like it's so nice when all the text and everything is right there.
It's okay. I got you covered. I muted you, Kimberly. It's all good.
Yeah. So in the same way that Kimberly's mentioning how nice it was when everything was there for her, like when she was like running the sale, right? The text was there, and exactly what to do with the image. Think about the same way for your consumer, right? They don't want to do the work either. They don't want to think. And if you do all that thinking for them, then they're ready to just pull the trigger, right? So it's like, this is ready to hang. This is going to brighten up your office, or, you know, however you're going to, you know, make that connection that I was mentioning earlier. But if you do that whole thing and then you're holding the piece right there and it's like, you know, this is what I'm doing. I got a sale going on right now. These are ready to go. Then like, you can imagine right there that somebody who wasn't otherwise thinking about it is like, I'm going to go buy one, like literally right now. Like there's nothing to think about. You've taken all the thought out of their head. They're just ready to go.
Yep.
I'm very excited about the playbook. Thank you so much for the detail. It makes it so easy and actually fun. And where marketing used to stress me, and now with that, I'm enjoying it. So thank you for the guidelines.
Thank you.
We're only getting better at it too. Like we're starting to put way more into these things. Like the whole goal is that there's this one book that Nick and I love, and it has to do with like web UI and UX, which is maybe a little bit technical. But what is the title of it, Nick?
Don't make me think.
Don't make me think. You don't want to think about it. You don't want to stress about it. You don't want to worry about it. I mean, Temi was talking about it earlier. Copy and paste, put a little language in there that makes it unique to you, and then execute. Just send it, just go. So we're massively moving towards that. And I think that's going to be like the number one leg up that we can give you going forward, and especially with these workshops where it's like, don't make me think. Don't make me think.
Yeah, keep giving us the feedback, guys. Like Temi, like Temi said, keep like wherever you're getting stuck or you're having to think and get confused, we want to know, because we probably just don't know. Like we need to like, okay, we got to write all of that out or something, or do a video or something like that.
Chris, there's a comment from Melanie Berry in there. She's new. She doesn't know where to find what Kimberly was highlighting. Could you just make sure she gets that link? Okay. And good luck, Kimberly. Let us know how the sale goes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Magic, you're next. Majik. Is it Majik?
Magic, yeah. That's just like the basketball player. He's a little taller.
All right.
Is that a slightly Polish name that you're rocking there?
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah.
Born in Warsaw.
Yeah.
So I'm new. I'm just literally a month just getting going, and so seeing this kind of interaction is just amazing. And my experience here is a lot of this stuff is things that I want to get to, and like I'm writing them down and putting them. Okay, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do that. But then you guys come back and you say, okay, we're going to fill that specific gap. So I think that's great. So the more that you can do with that, I would fit certain groups of demographics like me just coming on, and I don't know how to do a print giveaway, so I can plug into that and get it done. So yeah, that's really good.
I'll say one thing. You might have just come on board, but one area you are not lacking in, my friend, is your Zoom background. I mean, do I see a website banner at the top of that baby? I love it. I love it. Always be marketing.
Yeah, that was from the last webinar. You know, I just kind of dug it up so that I used that on the outdoor shows. So hey, it's not doing anything for a while, so put it up there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you at in your Art Storefronts journey? So is your website live yet?
So yeah, so almost there. So my question to you on that is, so I come from the originals background. So my customers are used to originals. And what I did is I put things in galleries and under various topics. So I do abstracts and landscapes and portraits. So there's a whole bunch of different things that I do. So, and like you said, I like the idea of putting them all on the home page. And I checked that on mobile, and that really rocks.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like a lot, you know, on the desktop, and it's like, oh yeah, maybe, but on the mobile, yeah, absolutely. So now I'm kind of stuck because I've got a bunch of originals that I've got to put somewhere, and I don't want to necessarily link them with all the prints, because I don't want to take my old customers and say, here's a mishmash of prints and originals, go sort it out. So I'm not really quite sure how to do that. I know the linking, I can link it to the print, but I'm just kind of looking how to best put those originals on the website.
Well, you have to create an original product, you know, in order to connect it with like an art print product,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so you can create a page. So in doing that, you know, or like when you're creating the original product, you can create a product gallery page with just your originals on it, even if they're connected or not, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And so that way, if you have an originals page and you have all of your originals on there, then they won't be downsold if somebody like goes to that, right? Or they won't even be distracted. I think that's what you want, right? You don't want, like, you want to send certain people to an originals page and not have them like see the
yeah. I think I have to make that navigation easy somehow. So right now I have in the shop art, I just have all the galleries, and then one of the last ones is originals. So I was going to put the originals in there, but then I thought, okay, well, there's a lot of clicking and fooling around in there. So is there like a better solution of doing that? Like maybe put the originals in the menu bar and put them there.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what you can do. That's what I mean. Put an originals page in the menu bar.
Okay.
I think that's always a good idea. Like if you sell originals and prints, you should always have an originals link in your menu bar, because I think the clientele that buys originals, they don't want anything else. They want original
exactly.
paint. It's just like one click, they're there, and then you might have everything in there, right? Again, it's like if you were on a mobile, one click, you're good to go, right?
Yeah. So, okay. So I can load up the originals in the not in the standard store, and then put them up in an originals gallery, and I can put that under the menu bar.
Exactly.
Right? And then, okay, if I'm running prints of those, then I run the prints in the other galleries, and then I just link to them.
Yes.
That's the process, and that's the way to do it.
That's what I would do.
Okay. Because there was a long tutorial on kind of how to move stuff around and bring them out into CVS file and back and forth and so forth, but I don't think that looks pretty scary from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, you don't need to do any of that. I mean, you really can't go wrong with anything that you're going to do on it. But I just think there's so many different ways that you can go about this. I mean, if you want, like, what's your website address? Do you have it up here right now?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, wait.
MACIEK, Peter.
Are you going to share your screen, Nick?
Yeah, I'm just going there right now. I just noticed, Magic, that I think you're naked. It's called a naked domain. That the non-www domain just had an error. I don't know that was pointed properly.
Okay.
So Marco, he's one of our support agents is on this call. Can you make a note? Let's check Magic's.
Got it. Emily's got it.
What's that?
Emily's got it already.
Emily's already got it. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep. So I'm sharing my screen. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, your work is awesome here. So like what I'm thinking is like you should have, okay, so you've got all these here, you got originals down here. Something else that you could do if you like, so do you have the originals on this page as well or no?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So where are they? Are they down at the bottom or?
No, they're all over the place. So like if you go up to the top, that portrait, that's an original, but I'm selling the prints as well.
Oh, okay. Different one, right? This
Yeah,
one right
next
here?
one over, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have it linked to the original yet because I wanted to talk to you guys about how to do this right.
Yeah, I would absolutely do that. I would have it so that you've got the original option here, you know?
Okay.
And then something that you could do if you really want to draw attention to your originals, like you've got it right here. You could move this. I would take the originals and I would move it up into the first level of the navigation.
Okay.
I would get it out of the shop art because I think it just needs more prominence for, you know, and something that you can do right here is you got pieces from all collections. There's on this specific homepage, on this product gallery page, when you're editing it, there's a section called lead content, okay? And it'll allow you to slip in like a little bit of text right here. And you could say, and you could have like, you could say like, you know, click here to see my originals or something like that. And then it links to your originals page. And that way on a phone, if somebody like comes onto your website, then sorry, I'm having a little technical issue right here. Hang on.
Yeah, maybe stop the screen share. I don't think you have the bandwidth.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so if somebody comes on their, you know, on their phone, they might not click the little hamburger menu to go see the originals. And so if you want to make sure that they see it, they'll see that line of text right there. And that guy, you know, who's the person who buys originals is going to click on that and want to go right to it.
Beautiful.
And that's it. I think you do that and you've got like a state-of-the-art setup.
Okay, my last question is, it says shop art as the first menu item.
Yep.
Should I name that something else?
No, I like that.
Okay.
Yep, that's the best practice right now. I love your site. Something I would do here is, let me try this again. One last try. So your logo, I would just move this up a little bit. And you can do that using the theme editor. When you're logged in, you'll see the edit design down here. Okay. And then click on your logo. And I think it's called the position or it might be the margin. You might need to add negative margin just to move it up. So it's like, you want to line it up like right in the middle of this. See that? And then it'll look really, really clean. And you'll gain back some of this real estate right here, which I think is really important.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome, guys. Thanks.
You got it, Magic.
All right, Mark Yee, you're up next. Go ahead and unmute you. Mark, go ahead.
So I've got two questions.
Huge congrats, by the way, on that sale.
What's that?
Huge congrats on that sale, by the way.
Well, that's my first question. So 5-6 weeks ago, I had a memory care facility walk into my gallery and said, I love it. And they wanted to buy all of it, 20 pieces of art. I was really excited. I made the invoice and it was a little over $6,000 that I was asking for. Mm-hmm. And then COVID-19 hit and the art facility I was working with sent emails. I've sent follow-up emails and it's been totally quiet, dead. I haven't heard anything. And is that a bad sign? Do I be patient? I mean, Nick or Patrick, how would you interpret this? I mean,
the first thing is
quiet dead. It's just, gosh,
the first thing is you did nothing wrong. Like that's the important thing. Like, I just want you to know, like, psychologically, like, you didn't do anything wrong, right? Like, this happened in the economy, and you know, everybody's getting hit somewhere, right? Like all sorts of businesses, and you know, you did everything right to get that sale. Okay, so don't worry. Like, don't think that you did anything wrong. I would be patient with it.
Do I give up? Or I mean, if you were a business, wouldn't it be in your right to say to someone, "Hey, I'm no longer interested. I found someone else. I'm moving forward." But just keep quiet, I think, is just completely and totally disrespectful towards me as the artist, or business for that matter. And I mean, does that happen a lot?
Oh gosh, I've seen everything. Yes, it does. I mean, and you know what?
What do I do about it?
I wouldn't naturally attribute it to that either. You know, like, you know, they could not even be in the office. They could not have access to the email. I would just remain optimistic about it. I would stay patient and hope after this dumpster fire, you know, gets put out, that it's back on the table and it's a thing. And yeah, I don't think there's anything you can do. To Nick's point, I remember being on a Southwest flight one time, and the plane came in and it was like a really rough landing, and people were like rattled a little bit, and the stewardess got on the thing and she's like, "It's not our fault. It's not your fault. It's asphalt." And that's the situation, right? Like, you kind of just have to chalk it up, just say like, "Oh man, it sucks." But I would just stay optimistic and patient about it, right? Like, you know,
absolutely.
You can assume the worst or believe the best. Believe the best. They don't have access to their email. They have no idea what's going on. Their whole world's been turned upside down like everyone else. And you know, just be patient, see where it goes.
Yeah, Mark, don't do anything to blow the deal. Okay, because the odds are they've got open wall space. You know what I mean? And like, they just, it's like, everybody's kind of like, wait, everything's on pause right now. And so whoever's in charge of it might not be able to get a check written or an answer from the person who needs to, you know, do that or whatever it is. And, you know, there was I'll tell you an important story. Like, it just popped into my head, but there was a sales rep who worked for me, and he still works for me actually at another company. And, you know, he works really big deals. He works very, very big deals. In fact, the biggest deals at the company. And, you know, I caught him one time, this was years back. He was in a similar situation, and he started kind of making the customer feel bad, right? Because they were dragging their feet, and yes, it was kind of, they were going back on their word. They were doing all of the bad things, right? And I said to him, I said, I don't want to, I'm about to say his name. I'm not going to say his name. I said, you know, what are you doing? And he's like, well, you know, they did this. And he had all of the reasons, and, you know, and he was right. And I said, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, don't make them feel bad. You know, don't like, it doesn't matter that they're breaking all the rules, right? Like, if you do this, you're going to burn the relationship completely. And then you're dead, you know?
Right. And so I keep on sending them romance emails, and I'm wondering, God, is this too much? Do I keep quiet now? You know, do I pull back?
I mean, if they're generally on your email list, like they're just seeing your general marketing, that's fine. But as far as following up with them about the sale, I would be patient with that. You know what I mean? Like, don't be emailing them once a week, right? Like, if they're not getting back to you, just hang tight, you know? Okay. And then maybe in a month, like when things start improving and we're, you know, things are opening back up, just be like, oh, hey, you know, I know that got, you know, probably got derailed a little bit, like totally understandable. Just wanted to see if you guys wanted to go ahead and move that forward. You know what I mean? And like, just be cool about it, because I think that the cooler you are, the more likely that you're going to get a response. And even if it's not the response that you want, you want that communication. You never want the person on the other side to feel like they just, you know, they don't want to send you even the smallest bit of information about what's going on.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does. Okay. So just be patient. That's what I heard. And yeah, that's all I can do, right?
Don't bug them. Don't make them feel morally bad or unethical. Just be cool about it. You know, until the only time that you could ever blow up on a situation like that is when they're like, well, we just bought everything from somebody else and we don't need you anymore. Then you're like, I can't believe you did that. You know, that's the only time that you actually could do that. But
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But
And
be cool. Be cool. Always be cool.
Okay. I'll keep cool and patient. That's actually a challenge for me, actually. But
it is for a lot of people. I have people do it to me all the time, and it drives me nuts. You know what I mean? It just drives me crazy. So yeah, just be cool and leave that opportunity open for you. Don't be the guy that blows it. You know what I mean?
Right.
If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You know. So like,
when would you, Nick? When would you tell yourself, that's it, I'm done? You know, I mean,
what's that?
When would you say, that's it, I'm done?
I would never.
Never? Okay.
Never. What I would do is send them an email once a month and just be like, and you know what I might do at one point is throw in another print. You know what I mean? Like say, like just one time, like, hey, I'm running this sale right now, or I'm running this deal right now. I thought like, hey, if you guys wanted to get that deal done, I'd throw in another free print. You know, and sometimes you do that just to see if they perk up. And if they go, oh yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Then you're like, perfect, I just got the deal done. It cost me a little bit more, but I got the deal done. If it doesn't happen, then you also know like, okay, wow, I gave them an incentive and they still didn't get back to me. So I'm just gonna wait another month, right?
Okay.
And then you just check in a month, and you can keep checking in every month for the next year. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Until somebody tells you that the deal's off the table.
So my second question, I already have a tech support lined up for next week, Tuesday, but it's about blogging. And I've already seen the video that Jessica put up on how to blog and everything. It was very general. But I do want to blog because I've got a lot of questions from people on Facebook and Instagram, like, wow, how do you do this? I thought maybe that'd be a great opportunity to put on the Art Storefronts website, but I don't know how to blog. I'm just clueless. And I'm wondering if there's a video out there that you've posted on how to do this, like the Art Storefronts video that was so just detailed and just wonderful and step by step. Is there anything like that on how to do a blog? Because you know, until this morning, I didn't know what WYSIWYG stood for. I was like, what's a WYSIWYG? You know, and it's like, oh, what you see is what you get. Okay, well then how does that help me? I'm like, so help on the blog. Any videos?
There should be something, Marco, can you guys, and Emily, can you guys reach out to Mark and get him that information on how, I mean, the general thing though, like it's very easy. You just add a blog page and then you add a blog post. But if you're asking like,
it's no different than writing an email.
Like,
it's no different than writing an email.
But how do you make it look really nice and professional and the graphics? And, you know, I tried to import a picture and it was all stretched out, distorted, and it was asking height and size. I'm like, I don't know how to rearrange all this. I mean, I don't know what to put in those boxes.
Make sure when you're doing it, use the on-site content builder. Okay. So when you're editing the blog post, you have a choice between using the WYSIWYG editor. I think we call it the standard editor. There's a little drop-down menu. In fact, you want me to just show you real quick? Let me just show you.
If people don't mind, you know, I mean, this is sort of.
Oh, it's quick.
All right.
Actually,
on-site content locker.
Builder.
Builder. Okay.
Let me see. It would be. I'm just going to one of our technicians' demo site real quick, but I'm gonna guess he's got a blog. Okay, he's got one right here.
Okay.
So you go to your post.
Yeah.
And I'm clicking edit. And then right here, blog post content. So you're probably on the standard editor just doing, this is the WYSIWYG, right?
Right.
What you want to do is use this on-site content builder, and then you click this button, and then it takes you onto the front end, okay? And then you click right here, click to add content, and you can add all sorts of cool stuff. So like I'll go to like, so like look at article right here. There's some really cool formats.
Wow.
There's I think there's even, so ones with photos, there's even better ones maybe.
Yeah, that's definitely graphic user interface. I like that better.
Yeah. So there's all sorts, and these are all like content blocks. So you can start off with like something like this, and then, you know, you click this plus symbol, and then you can
wow. That's what I'm used to.
Add something
Okay.
below like that, you know?
So
And
you
then-
go on-site content builder.
Yeah. And then you just click the save button over here when you're done and you're good to go.
All right.
And you just edit this on the fly.
Yeah, that's what yeah, cool.
There you go. There's your tutorial.
Thanks. I'm gonna go there right after this meeting and fool around with it. Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, that's you got the right idea though. That's exactly where you would put that content. It's great.
Okay, Debbie, you're up. You're unmuted.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. I haven't been live on one of these. Anyway, I got up on your site, I want to feel a little more than a year ago. I produced work for it. I was one of those that like took a little time, and I've been tweaking it. I work with your tech support staff, and now I really need to look at, I'm also doing an online class. Well, I'm developing it. So I'm trying to put it together. I want to use your experience page for that. I have sold on the site some prints and a large canvas print. And then I had a big event in December that I pushed for, and I sold quite a few $1,000s worth of work in my studio.
Great.
So yeah, so now I really feel like the site can work for me, but I've been one of those artists you described that like is not consistent, got on and just like before December, sent a few emails, said I would be doing it and haven't. And so now I have this time. And so I really wanna get it going, figure out a way to keep my momentum going. I travel a lot, and my art is a little bit about that. I do these travel journals. So I'm gonna do an online class about how to do a travel journal. And, but that might-
Are you gonna sell tickets to that or attendance?
Yeah, at some
Okay.
point I am. Yep,
Okay.
it's gonna be a class you pay for. And initially I may do some freebie things to pull people in. And I was gonna use your experience page initially now to just show my travel journals. Because if you go on my website, you can't even tell I do that. My work, I started scuba diving like 2 years ago. So now a heavy piece of my work is all about the coral reef and scuba diving, the sea, the ocean.
Cool.
But so it's like, am I branding? Can you tell that? You don't know that I do the travel journals unless you go onto Instagram, and people like them. Anyway, so I would love a site audit. Tell me what I'm doing right or wrong. And because you guys have been so good and honest with your feedback, it would be good for me to know what I should do moving forward.
So here's a question for you. Like, do you feel like you're just starting to launch the marketing?
Yeah.
Okay, so we did a workshop.
barely.
We just started a new workshop, which was yesterday was the first one, and it's called the Marketing Launch Workshop, right? And so
Right.
it's meant for people, even though you've been here for a year, it's meant for people who are like, I'm now gonna start doing the marketing, right?
Right.
For real. And so that probably would benefit you. Can we make sure in our show notes, Chris, that we get a link to yesterday's presentation that they did? Because I think if you watch it, you're gonna get a lot of value out of it. It was fantastic.
I watched it. I was on.
Oh, you did?
It was fantastic.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No. And I couldn't get what my questions now, like for someone to look at my site. I did it, it was at the end, and I didn't know how to raise my hand. But
So what's your website address?
it's debbiedicker.com.
Okay.
And I did everything myself. I did the logo, so I'm willing to change things where I need to.
Are you willing to give 15%?
Yeah, I could do that.
I would say raise your, if you're not, raise your prices 5%, and then you will be.
Okay.
And I only say that because there's a study that was done, and this is like 20 years ago. I remember one of my business partners from way back told me this, but like there was a major marketing study done that said that 15% is the percent off that actually makes people move.
Okay. Okay.
So I typically never do anything less than that because I believe in it. Okay, so let's check this out. How many images do you have total?
I don't know.
If you had to guess, is it less than 100?
It might be less than 100. Like maybe 10 in each section, and some get repeated, I think.
These are beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
My take is, number one, I think you don't have if you have 100, approximately 100 images or less, I say get them all on your homepage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is,
Yeah.
and our team can help you with this.
Okay.
But it's basically have a different product gallery page as your homepage and have it just have every single image in there ranked by bestseller and or popularity the best you can.
So that would substitute for where I have favorites. Is that correct?
No, I'm just saying it would replace this as your homepage. Like rather than having what you have here are like kind of folders, right?
Yeah.
Or, sorry, categories.
Right.
What I've explained to everybody and what we're trying to what I'm trying to help everybody with is that if you don't have enough images, and you can really understand this if you go to your site on a mobile phone, you click in here to your favorites. So then you got a page load, right? So you got to wait for the page load. Then all I'm seeing is 9 images, right? So then I got to go back, and now I got to go to Coral Reef, right? You do this enough from your phone, even on a desktop, and you realize that you're making your visitor work way too hard to see your content, right? And so instead, if all of these are just on your homepage, okay, then I literally go to debbiedicker.com and I just start scrolling down and I see everything, and I see it in like 15 seconds without having to click on anything or without having to load another page, okay?
Yeah.
So that's just your homepage. Now you still want to keep all of these categories, these pages that you have here, right? Your favorites, your core. So you'll leave all of this. This is good because sometimes some visitor might be like, oh, I just want to jump right to Coral Reef, right? And it's right there for them. But otherwise, your homepage you'll get a lot more people into your product pages, which is ultimately what you're trying to do, right? You need them to go to the product page to see a price, to see the media type options, and to start playing with those to get them into the buying process.
Okay.
Our support team knows exactly how to do what I'm talking about right here. Okay. So if it doesn't make sense, just make sure you ping them. All right. I'll help you. Okay.
Right.
I would definitely get a new logo.
Okay.
I don't think I think this logo is not anywhere near the quality of the art that I'm looking at.
Okay.
And I think that it should have, it should have something that ties into your subject matter, right? And it's just a paintbrush right now, but there's your subject matter and your style is so unique that, it should fit in with that. And you kind of have some, it feels like you've got some like this aqua sort of color, like turquoise or something. It's like kind of common in your work.
Right.
Maybe that fits into it somehow. And I think that like this background is a little clunky, like this billboard, because it's like, again, it's kind of gray and everything. And it's right here. It's, but it's not as I'm just loving your work, right? I'm just like, oh, I just want to see more of this. And I don't know, I don't know if this is really benefiting you much.
Okay.
You could redo it and have a nicer cut, like maybe the aqua color would be better. I don't really know, but I'm just more like, your art is so beautiful. Like, just get them into the art. That's what people want anyway,
Yeah, that was me, like a year ago. Like, how am I going to help sell my work, and I didn't have, like, some of those coral reef things are only 6 months old. So I didn't have that at the time. I got this up using Canva. I've been working hard. That piece on the back there above the yellow, I sold the original, and then I sold a large print.
Awesome.
That was 55 inches long. So I thought that was good on a canvas.
Very good.
On the site. But I haven't sold a lot though. But yeah, and I'm just debating, like, do I use a designer? Do I, what do I do?
You just don't, excuse me. You just don't need anything else. You don't, I mean, the best selling sites that we have are honestly the most minimalistic. If you're not familiar with minimalistic style, like look it up. Okay, yeah. You don't need the billboard. It's not going to help you, right?
Oh,
yeah. It's in fact, we did a case study where there was your billboard is not that bad compared to the one that we did the case study on, because it was much taller, it was bigger. But we did a case study on removing that because the artist was really stubborn about it. They really wanted to have this. It was like a slideshow of images, right? And we said, you got to remove it. And they had a lot of traffic, and we removed it, and it improved their bounce rate by 400%. And the bounce rate is the number of people that go onto your site and just immediately leave. Like they click the back button. They're like, I'm out of here, And you just don't want to take a chance for that to happen, right? That's why get out of their way. It should feel like, the way I like to say is, it should feel like you're walking right into an art gallery, right? When you walk into an art gallery, I mean, even in the windows, they're like, here's art that you can see. They're not putting this big thing in your face going, hey, before I'm going to allow you to come in, I'm going to make you watch this, right? Like, think about how preposterous that would be if somebody did that in real life. So I don't want anybody doing that on their website. I want it to just be like, I land on the site and it's images, right? Like you're in the gallery. I scroll, I just saw like 9, 10, 12, 15, 20 images. No different than if I walked into a gallery and I start looking around, right? So none of that stuff's gonna hurt you. So it's a waste of time to spend any time on it when you can be doing marketing.
Yep.
Which is what you really need to be doing.
We should maybe rant on that in a minute when we finish it up, but good question.
Yes.
Okay, Sean, you're up next. Sean Thompson.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Sean.
So I've been with Art Storefront for many years, but I also have a printing company, so that takes away obviously a lot of my time to be able to work on my site. But given our current state, with things quiet on the printing company side, I have the opportunity to work on my photography. And in the past year, I've gained some good traffic with Instagram, Facebook. I've also sold, several metal prints, other things. And I think now is the time for me to improve on my site. So the problem is that also I do fine art or cityscape photography, but I also offer other services. So I had kept a front end site and used shopart.seanthompson.com for my gallery and store, exactly. So I was sort of speaking with Chris yesterday, although I know he didn't have too much time. And I was wondering if it's better that I just down my front end site and just focus on my fine art photography, but would it hurt me if I put my professional services on my gallery site or my photography site? Like I'm torn between the two. I don't know if you can look at them. And
yeah. Let's look
go
at
to my SeanThompson.com. You will see that huge banner.
No worries.
That I will take.
That's why we're here. Got to talk about these things.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm there. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah. So that's my enormous banner. And it's a slideshow. So there's 3 images there. And what I did was, if you click on any of these now, they take you directly to my shop art. So it really is the first thing I've been listening to these classes now, so I've been tweaking things. I just was speaking with Joseph yesterday, and I upgraded my plan so that I have the different features. But I didn't want to start marketing till I resolve these issues, if you wish.
Why do you, okay, so.
I know it's like a duplicate.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. I want to know, like, so you said you have services, right?
I know, but I haven't, like, this is where I have all this time now. I can totally build my site and list all my services. I haven't done that yet.
Got it.
I just didn't know what site I should be working on.
I mean, right off the bat, like this like landing page, this extra site you have is essentially like a duplicate of what you could just be doing here. So outside of that, like that should just be here. I think you're like just looking at where you're going on the Art Storefront site. I think this is basically just taking over for you. Like you've got everything here. You got the professional services. You should list.
Well, no, it links back to my other site.
Oh, okay. But you should just have a standard page here, and you
with
could
my
build
services.
Yeah, you could build a beautiful page with the on-site content builder that I was showing. This is a blog post, but like the standard page goes all the way across, right? And so you can build like a really cool, like if I show you, have you seen this before?
I haven't dabbled in there yet because I was blogging on the front end and I had all my travel blogs there, but I downed that. Okay.
There's some really cool layouts that you can add in here to like, add different like products or service. Like you can use like laying out services. It'll look better when it's on the full screen page, but
sure.
You can very easily design a nice page for your professional services. And then I think you're good to go. You got one site, and the lead capture, in order to really get the benefit of the lead capture, you want it to be on your main site, not after one click, right? Like I had to click to get over here and then the lead capture popped. So you're kind of in trouble right there, And then you can go with SeanThompson.com and you can ditch the subdomain.
How will that affect my SEO? Because if you Google Sean Thompson photography, everything is starting to link to shopart.SeanThompson. Is there a way to do like a sitemap?
There's a way to, there's a way to do
that to Google?
a 301 redirects.
So will I have to do that with each image?
What's that?
Will I have to do that with each image? Because I have over 100 photos.
You will, but it actually could be pretty easy because you can do like a mass find and replace because all the URLs will be the same aside from the fact that subdomain won't be there. Our team can help you with this.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying that I should just close down my front end site and I can get GoDaddy just to directly point to you guys, and then I just have to change my URL under the theme.
That's what I would do. And here's the other thing too here's the other thing about your SEO. Like, do you even have any SEO traffic? Is it even converting for you, right?
I haven't been looking at any of that, but I have been diligent in putting in all my meta tags and keywords, and I do the same on Instagram and all that.
Yeah. So like, if you're not selling a bunch online and you're not getting the benefit of any SEO traffic, which most people aren't anyway, then I wouldn't stress about the 301 redirects. I think that's just a waste of time and complexity because our site, we have, this is getting a little technical, but I'll show it anyway. Our code like is going to, let me look for this. Where is it? Oh, it's developer view source. Yeah. Right here, this canonical link right here. Like as soon as this is something that's telling Google what you want the URL to be indexed in Google. Okay. And so the second that you change your domain, this is going to change to just SeanThompson.com /bestsellers photographs for every single page on your site. and your sitemap is going to be automatically updated. They update every Sunday. And so Google is going to know right away what to do. Okay. And what you can also do is, our team should be able to help you with this, is you can have the shopart.seanthompson.com forward to seanthompson.com, so that while Google is going through that transition, if anybody clicks on any of those links or any old links you might have put on Facebook or Instagram or anything else, they'll still work.
Where do I do the forwarding? Is that with GoDaddy?
Yeah, have my team help you with that.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll do it on GoDaddy ultimately. And then, so you'll want to point the main domain at your Art Storefront site, and then you're going to want to have that subdomain forward to your main domain. Two things. Okay. Marco, if you heard that, or Emily, if you're still on here, can you guys just jot those notes down for Sean? That those two things, okay? Point the main domain at the Art Storefront site the normal way, but then her subdomain that she's using right now, that also has to get pointed over, so that, and then make sure that you test one of like the product pages with the subdomain to make sure that it forwards to her main domain and it works properly. If you do that, then you know it worked. Cool. Pat, you're muted. I just unmuted you.
Yeah, sorry, I had a screaming kid. Okay. Yeah, that's in the code world.
Thank you for muting.
Yeah. So, okay, we've got one more question from James, and then we might want to do a little bit of a rant on, the minimum viable website and talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a thing. We might as well just do it now. Let's go into it now. But big picture, having done as many of these calls as we have, Nick and I recently, and having been website owners our entire lives, like there's such a tendency to want to keep messing around with your website and getting things correct. And if I just spend a little bit more time on the website, if I just change these colors, and if I just move some things here, there, left and right, here and there, and that's like the tendency, the trap that we fall into as humans. And it's dangerous, right? Because all of the time that you're spending on that, like the product that we give you off the shelf at Art Storefronts is really, really good at converting buyers into sales. It does it. There's not that much you need to add to it. You need to get your logo up there. You need to get all of your work up. You need to get your prices sorted, and then you need to move into the marketing phase. And the analogy that I use all the time, and I think it's really poignant, is it's sort of like owning a restaurant, right? And you own the restaurant, and you want to get your doors open, and you start working on the tablecloths and the china and the menus, and then you're like, I don't really like that china, I want to get some new china, and then it'll be ready to go, and then you redo the carpets, and meanwhile you're not out there getting people into the restaurant and actually testing the food. And so you ended up wasting a whole bunch of time on these things that are probably not as important as the final product, which is getting people into your restaurant. Do you like this? And then you can kind of iterate on that stuff as time goes by. And that's the right way to do it. And more so than ever right now, like, 95% of your time should be spent marketing and not on monkeying around and making changes with the website. And I think, it's like an important thing to like always remind yourself, because that's ultimately where the sales are going to come from. It's not going to come from these little tweaks on your website that maybe get you like, at 0.1% higher conversion rate. Even if you get like a double the conversion rate, if you spend your time over here getting way more eyeballs to your site versus tweaking the little things here, 100 more people come and 2 people come, but you converted a little bit more of them. The revenue doesn't pencil. It doesn't even come close to penciling. You've got to work on the marketing. And it is an endemic problem across the board. And I've been caught in it a million times. I could hold the mirror up where I'm monkeying around with my website, getting this right, getting the fonts, getting the colors. None of it matters. What you have out of the box will turn buyers, will turn visitors into buyers and create sales. And so you've got to stay focused on constantly getting more eyeballs to the work rather than messing around with the site too much. Out of the box, these things will kick butt.
That restaurant analogy, we've been saying it for years. You came up with it, and it's such a great analogy, right? Because you could be the best chef in the world, but if nobody tries your food, i.e. nobody sees your art, then it doesn't matter. Like nobody's seen your art, right? And like tweaking your website in the way that Patrick mentioned, it's like, you change the menu around, you're shuffling things around inside, and it's like you got a higher you might have got a higher conversion rate. You know what that means? Okay, you got 2 customers in, and you're like, yes, one of them ordered dessert. We converted a little bit more. We upsold him, right? Meanwhile, the other guy that's working on marketing got 100 customers in the door, right? So you have your 2 that you upsold because you optimized that one little thing within your store, within your restaurant. So you got this $5 dessert that you sold, whereas the other person was focusing on the higher part of the funnel, the top of the funnel, right? Brought 100 more people into the restaurant and got 100x the revenue as a result, right? And did not even bother and sold no dessert, right?
Yeah, it's important. We're gonna continue pounding it, and you know, again, it's just too easy to fall into that trap. But you got to be out there. You got to be out there just marketing. It's the biggest problem you have. And also too is like, you know, especially in this window of time that we're in right now, that's so crazy. We want all of you guys to win. I'll say it, to the detriment of other artists and photographers out there. A finite amount of art and photography is going to be bought, and we want you in that buyer pool. And the best way to do that, especially now when everyone's offline sources are cooked, is to get going on your digital, get better at your digital, spend more time on your digital, double down on all the stuff that we're teaching you to do digitally, because it takes time to get that stuff going. It takes time to ramp up. Email list is built one email at a time. And so that is really where the focus should be. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
I
always
James,
say 80-20, right? I bring this up a lot. It's just the Pareto's principle. I'm going to say it again, right? The 80-20 rule. 80% of your, you can pretty much apply it to anything, right? 80% of your sales are going to come from 20% of your products. But another way that I use it, and the people that you know, Art Storefronts team members will, you know, they're probably like, oh God, here goes Nick again. But I push this principle to everybody in the company that once you get something about 80% of the way there, any sort of project, right? Or any task in business, that last 20%, there's very limited ROI on it, right? And that's I call it the perfection 20%, right? Where you could spend a month on it. So like you could take any project. I tell people that work for us, you know, we got to get this X project done, whatever it is. And they're like, oh my gosh, it could take a month. And it's like, no. How can you get 80% of it done in like today? Like literally, you have 8 hours today to get this done. Well, almost any project can get done in that amount of time, right? But that last 20% could cost you a month. Sometimes it'll cost you 2 months of just trying to be perfect rather than just shipping it and moving, right? So when it comes to the websites, we're trying to not make you guys have to think by giving you something out of the box that works, because my intention, our entire intention, is that you guys will get your art up there. You will trust that these sites work and they are designed to convert and they get the job done, so that we can get you to stop focusing on the site as quickly as possible, so that we can get you over to the marketing, because we know that the marketing is the only thing that's going to matter. It's the only thing that's going to change your business. So like going back to Pat's restaurant analogy, we don't want you to be the restaurant with amazing food, right? Because you guys are so talented. You got amazing work, but nobody's in the restaurant. You're the guy with the empty restaurant. We want you to be the artist or photographer with the restaurant, where you're outside the door and you're getting people in. You're doing everything you can to get people in to actually see your art, you know, so you don't end up with a situation where you've got this great business, you got this great technology, you got everything behind you, but you actually just don't have eyeballs on your art. It's the biggest problem. It is the #1 problem in the whole industry. And that's why I say, like, you know, everybody thinks that the art and photography industry is so crowded, and it is not, you guys. It's like you guys are on an island, because nobody is doing the marketing and no one is doing the work. Nobody. Even like 40% of Art Storefronts members who know that they should be doing it, who bought the product, are not doing it, right? And they're not doing it enough. Trust me, you guys are in an elite group, because you saw the writing on the wall. You know that this is what you have to do to build a business. Everybody else in the whole industry is throwing up their art on Fine Art America or these other online gallery sites that everybody's doing every day, right? It's the most crowded area, and the areas that are the most crowded are the areas that aren't going to work, right? All the things that are so easy to do are the things that just don't work in business by definition, right? They can't work for everybody. So focusing on the marketing is the most important thing that you can do. And I just, you know, I can't say it enough, because you guys are literally like, you're in the 1%, and you probably didn't even realize it.
Yep. And as a final too.
It's not even 1%. It's 0.01%.
to just tie it into the restaurant analogy, you know, when Nick and I grew up, we grew up together. When we grew up, before you were allowed, like you were old enough to like get into bars or whatever, we used to go down to Tijuana, like with all of our friends from high school, drive down to Mexico. I don't know if you guys have been down to Mexico, but when you go to Mexico, especially like one of the, you know, the cheesy vacation hotspots, whether it's, you know, Cabo San Lucas or Puerto Vallarta, Acapulco, Zihuatanejo, any one of those, Cancun, what do you have outside of the bar? You got the Mexican guy, okay, who's got the sombrero on and he's got a whistle around his neck and he's blowing that whistle like crazy and he's offering you guys drink specials and he's out there with the hook. Get in there. Come on. That is what you got to be doing. That is what you got to be doing all the time. It is the absolute perfect analogy. That is what marketing is. It's that guy outside and then the restaurant next door, the bar next door doesn't have anyone. And guess what? He might not get everybody, but he's getting a whole bunch and he's roping them in. He's sometimes group of 15. Okay. Big table right there. You know, bucket of Coronas is already on the table waiting. Like that's the analogy. That's what you got to be doing. Okay. I'm going to move to James.
Minimum viable website is essentially, it's the plan that we give everybody to get their site live. And that's it. After that, it's marketing.
Yep. James, you're up next. Go ahead.
Fantastic. I'm so excited to actually be live like this. I really want to commend Art Storefronts on the job. I've only been with you for 2 weeks, and I'm just now getting to the point that I'm launching my site. I wanted you guys maybe to take a look at it. It's jameslovelaceart.com. That's JAMESLOVELESS art.com. And I had some questions that I wanted to put forth to you maybe while we're looking over my site.
Okay. He's pulling it up. So go with your first question.
Okay. Well, I do portraits in addition to doing Western art. And I was wondering what I should do in order to market my portraits, original portraits, along with the Western artwork that I do, and what would be the best way to do it. What I've gotten now is I have commissions in my navigation bar. And so I don't know if that's enough or I should be doing more. I've got a page for that that's been set aside. I could do more to develop that and branch off with more pages and I guess more pricing and more stuff like that. I don't know, but I was asking about that. Also, the aspect of teaser prices. Is that something that is by the book? Should I be doing that? I don't care what, how I want it. I just want it to be best practices. And that's what I'm concerned about the most, that I'm doing the best practice thing because I'm just starting out.
Okay. All right. You got quite a few things here. First of all, boy, are you talented.
Thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate that.
Unbelievable. How much do you charge for your commissions?
How do I charge? It depends on how big it is. If you're just talking about a head and shoulders, that's one price.
What about what about this baby right here, the 16 by 20 you did?
Okay, that would be 2,000.
Got it. Okay. So,
right.
I mean, everything on it, like, your setup already is good. Like, I don't see any problem with the way, like, right when I landed on here and the navigation, I think you're all good. I think your logo's a little big.
Okay.
I'd probably go with like 50% of the size, like half the size.
Okay.
That's a personal thing. It's nice and centered right here. So just shrink it down a bit. Okay. And so it's not just as it's really kind of strong right on the page. And I want your art to be, the strong thing. And let's just take a look at as far as the media types are concerned, I would just pick one canvas. Don't have to. because your customer's not going to understand like what's the difference here, and this is going to stop them in their tracks. I would, unless you're against it, I would offer metal. I mean, if you're going to offer acrylic, I would definitely offer metal.
No problem.
Yeah. Aside from that, your media types are good. I would probably have no more than like 12 sizes. So like 3 rows.
Okay.
And so just kind of get a mix. I think what I would do is probably start with like 8 by 10.
Okay.
Because I already didn't like the fact that this price point was only $19. It's just a little too cheap.
Okay.
7 by 9. You know, I like the $40. Like if it were me, I wouldn't sell anything less than like $40 because it's just, what's the point, right?
Right.
If somebody's going to buy a 5 by 6, they'll probably buy a 9 by 7 anyway if they really wanted it, and you'll get $40 instead of 17, right?
Okay.
And it's
Sounds
affordable
good.
either way. So it's not an affordability issue when you're dealing with something that's like 17 versus 40, right?
Right.
So yeah, so by deactivating these smaller ones right here, and then what you want to do is just kind of, you're definitely going to want to like have like the standard sizes. So like 8 by 10, 11 by 14, as you kind of go through here. So make sure you have like, you know, like your largest size should probably be active or something close to it, maybe 31 by 40. And then you want to just give like a nice range from large to small, but only end up with roughly 12. It could be 10, it could be 14. I'm just kind of saying 12 to just not have like as many as you have right now.
Okay, I understand. Okay, I'll change it.
Too many.
I also have connected some of my originals to the print store too, so that when you click on it, it goes to both of them.
That's great.
Right. So I was having kind of a problem at the bottom in the related images. Sometimes it would appear double. So you would see like this image as double. There you go. There you can see it.
Yeah. So there's a way when you are editing a product, I believe, to make it so that it won't show up in these.
Okay.
So you could do it for one of them and not the other.
I understand. Okay, I'll do that also.
If I'm not mistaken. So I think the support team can help you with that too if you have a question, or if you can't figure it out.
Awesome. So as far as the portraits are concerned, I should just go with what I have already and kind of tweak it as I do my marketing, because I know you just did a whole rant about do the marketing. I'm like, I'm still doing the website. So I'll get on that, but maybe I could start my marketing and tweak my website as I go along. That's kind of how I was thinking.
Exactly. Like your website is good enough to launch once you adjust those media types and sizes. I mean, even without the media types and sizes, you're still ready to launch because you can't hurt yourself. Oh, something I forgot to mention is that when your lead capture popped up,
right,
something was wrong with it.
Oh, okay.
It had like a formatting issue, and the support team needs to look at that. Marco, can you take a look at this site here, James Lovelace, and help them with the lead capture? Help him with the lead capture.
I know Marco. We talk all the time.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, and Len Cicio just said beautiful professional work, James. So he's another member. I said that in the chat. But the other thing I was going to mention, James, is that on your commissions page, list the price.
Price is there.
Yeah, because like that was the first thing where I was like, you know, like what did you charge? What do you charge for your commissions? Like you'll get people like you'll get more people who are ready to buy on the spot if they know roughly what you charge. You know, for each of those that you have on there, or if you just at least have like a price list, like 16 by 20 is X, or like even a range. It's like, you know, if you have like a range, like if something's really easy or something's really hard, it's like, send me the picture, I'll tell you, but it's roughly 1,000 to 2,000 or something, right?
Okay, all right. The other question I had, I know I got a bunch and you guys are trying to cut this off, but the Instagram, I'm at Instagram and I've got a page at Instagram, but I don't have a personal page, so it's all artwork. And so I was wondering if I start doing the thing with the channels, and I do have, like, I want to do portraits there, and then I want to do Western art there for just 2 of them, and maybe some personal stuff. Then how do I go about doing that? Is there a way, how do I go to Instagram and make that happen?
Pat, you're muted.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Yeah, you just post the content there. You don't need to overthink that. Just get going. Post all of it on there on the one page that you have the most followers on. That's what I would do.
Okay. It's not like I got thousands of them, so.
That's all right.
But I just started doing that too. Okay.
Yeah, that just gives you more stuff that you could post, right? Like, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, I muted you to keep things moving, but welcome aboard and get marketing. Okay, Lamore, you're up.
Hi. I just finished setting up my commission page, and I did all the stuff that you just mentioned. So I have 2 questions. One, what is the best way to market commission work? Because I've been doing some of it recently, and you're right, Nick, people want to know, first thing is, how much do you charge for? Because I think some people think that doing commission work is really, really expensive. So I did put all my prices there and sizes. So what would be the best way to market that? And also my second question is, what frequency should we do the giveaways? And I know we have Mother's Day sale coming up. So I was thinking to do I just did a giveaway in the end of March, finished at the end of March. And I was thinking of doing a giveaway before Mother's Day to kind of fill in the funnel, maybe before Mother's Day. I don't know if you can just give me some more information on that.
Yeah, generally, I mean, I think that the best frequency is what we're recommending in the art marketing calendar, like generally, you know what I mean?
Once a month?
I don't think the calendar is telling you to do one right now, is it?
No.
Yeah. So that doesn't mean that you can't. You know, if you're having a lot of success with it and you want to do another one, go right ahead. I have no problem with that. Because I think, I mean, any way that you can fill in more leads and get them in before Mother's Day is smart, right?
Well, I have a lot of people that that got following me on my page book and Facebook. I mean, on my page and Facebook after the giveaway. So a lot of them are commenting. I'm just not sure that they're necessarily converting into buyers or potential buyers.
Are they converting? Are you getting them? Are they converting into leads? Are you getting them to come to your website and sign up on your list?
Well, they're followers. So, and they followed based on my giveaway. So I assume they're on my
Oh, because they opted in to your giveaway.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, right. Yeah, you could do another one. Are you familiar with this tactic we've been pushing for a couple of weeks of contacting the Facebook group owners and Instagram content curators?
Yes.
Because I would consider doing that too. A lot of that. That's what we're really pushing right now. Because you could do both, by the way. You could do both because going to these content curators is outside of your normal list and following, right? And so it's like doing a giveaway. Again, you know, you could do one with your current audience and you could be doing it with these other content curators to potentially get in front of a lot more people. And you can be doing them at the same time. So it doesn't matter, right? Okay. So I would consider doing that. And then, and we've got a playbook for it. So just follow that. And Pat's going to do a workshop on this. I think it's going to be next Friday, or we may want to consider doing it tomorrow. I don't know if you need more time.
Like no, the sales one takes precedent tomorrow for sure. But yeah,
right.
we'll toss up the schedule. You know, it might even make sense to move the workshops up to our Tuesday, Thursday. Like, you know, it's all on the table.
Yeah, that's true. Right? That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. And then about the commissions, I think with the commissions, you should basically do everything that we're telling you to do, like normally, like with the art marketing calendar and what we're advising, but just plug the commissions into that. Okay. So like there's, I'll give you an example, and I think this will probably answer your question, but we have a couple of Art Storefronts painters who are extremely successful with commissions. Okay. And, you know, they came onto Art Storefronts and they wanted to just sell prints. That's what, like, they're just like, I don't want to do commissions anymore. I just want to sell prints. And when we started digging into their business, we were like, we found out that they had this thriving commissions business, you know? And we were like, look, the reality is here is that you're trying to start a new business by selling, you know, by focusing on prints, and it's a brand new business. Meanwhile, you've been successful for the last X years selling commissions. And so we advised them, like, one of them had like been just promoting like open edition prints through the whole fourth quarter. And I said, if I could rewind the clock, I would have you doing a giveaway of a commission. Okay. I would have you do your whole fourth quarter marketing, have it be for, you know, commissions. You know what I mean? Like, you're giving a discount on a commission, because that's your core business, not selling an open edition print, right? And that was specific to them. But I say that to give you the idea that you can do a giveaway for, you know, for a commission. You can use the exact same stuff that we're advising for the art marketing calendar, whether it's for an original painting, because we have those as well, where some of our painters only sell originals. And so we want them to know, like, hey, your giveaway should be an original, not a print, right? So whether it's an original or a commission. So what I would do is I would sprinkle those in from time to time, if you're selling all of those. And so that way the people that are on your list know that you do commissions, because I think that commissions are awesome. I love them. I own one. I bought one, you know, of my wife and I from our wedding. I look at it every single day when I walk into my master bedroom, and I love them. I think that it's the talent that you guys have to be able to do that is unbelievable. And I think almost every painter, if they're willing to do it, should be offering those. I also think, Limor, like right now, this is a great time to be offering a commission, like a discount maybe on a commission, and marketing that. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Good question. I would also say too, like, you know, it's nice when you have all of them working, when you have the originals, when you have commissions, and then when you have prints too, because there's a lot of times where I've seen where customers have had sales and, you know, they really hammered it hard. And it's like, well, I love this stuff, but I'm actually just interested in a commission, right? So step one is making sure that everyone knows you're doing all three, right? And you could do that in every email you send. You can do that in various different social posts. You can post sometimes socially about the original that you're working on. Sometimes you can do it about the commission that you're working on. Sometimes you talk about the prints and kind of rotate around and through them. So as long as there's an awareness that these things exist, you know, you could even have a sale on originals. And oh, by the way, as you know, I do commissions too. You can throw that in. Every time somebody buys an original, you can say, just to let you know, as a result of the fact that you bought an original, one of these policies that I've had forever is I'll give you 20% off the commission. So if you want a commission as well, that's a deal that I extend for a year in your case, and maybe even 2 years. You know, you can mix the language up. You know, you don't have to be salesy or too pushy, but that's what I would do. Like, step one is let everyone know that they're available, and rotate through your marketing as you talk about each all year long. And that's a great way to do it. So that's how I would go.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who buys a piece of your work should be offered a commission right after. Hey, because you are now a collector of mine, I want to know that I can give you 20% off a commission, you know, and you could say for the next like 3 months or something like that. You'll give it to them forever, but maybe try to get some urgency under it. But like, everybody should be offered that because they like your work already. So, you know, it's only natural that like they're going to be the ones that might want to buy a commission from you. I think and when it comes to like romance marketing, I think every once in a while one of your romance posts should be one of these that you did for a client, so that people see like, oh, I didn't know. Like, it's hard for us like to understand what you can do. But when James was just showing his commission page, like, I was immediately thinking, you know, like self-portraits, right? Of like, I'd give him a picture of but then I saw the baby and I was like, oh, wow, like he could do babies, you know? And because he had those pictures on there of the various different types that he's done, it really showed me like, oh, wait a minute, like I've got some ideas here. Like, it could be this, it could be that. And so you can't count on everybody going to your commissions page on your site. So that's why every once in a while doing a romance post and showing like what you did like for somebody else and mixing it up so that they can see the different styles and variation that you've done, so that they, you know, again, they don't have to think. They're like, wait, that's going to be the one I'm going to buy. And she's offering a deal right now. Okay, great. Like I might secure one of those, you know? A commission is also a great gift card item, in my opinion. Like what a great, like Mother's Day, like Christmas, like a gift, like if I could buy that for my spouse or something like that, that she can pick a picture or whatever to get done, but I can buy it on a gift card because I can't pick that picture right now. She's going to pick the picture, you know, but I can get a discount on it right now. You know, that's a really good idea too.
Okay. Kelly, you are up next. Kelly, you're unmuted. Go. Oh, hold on. I misfired. Some mute button.
There we go.
Yeah, now I got you.
Hi.
Okay. Hey.
So I don't want to be redundant in the question because Lamore kind of just asked the same question, but my situation is a tiny bit different. My site just went live. I've been waiting for my prints to come to do my first print giveaway. At the same time, I was kind of had a licensing agreement with a home decor subscription box business. So I was their featured artist for their spring box, and they gave me.
How did that go, by the way?
It's been great. I think, I don't know the exact numbers. I think they have about 6,000 to 10,000 boxes that they send out. So a print of mine was in the box, and then they do a card kind of thing that had, and some magnets that had some other images that I did. So they gave me an extra box. So while I was waiting for my prints, I did an Instagram giveaway of the box. So I haven't done it yet. I just started it yesterday. My question then is, now that my prints just came today, how long, because I'm not on your calendar yet, so to speak, your marketing calendar, how long do I wait till I do the print giveaway?
There's no rules. You can go into it right away.
That's not obnoxious?
No, not at all. Not in the slightest. Nobody sees everything, right? Like we have this tendency to think that like everyone sees every email, everyone sees every contest, everyone sees every post. They're not seeing it. No one sees anything. They don't see it. Like don't worry about that. Just execute. I would go right into like official site launch. Have you already done the whole official site launch and all of that? Okay, we got a pretty rock solid playbook. So I would probably do the giveaway coinciding with emailing, just launched the new site, we're live. Chris, I don't know where that lives in our resource vault, but we've got a really good playbook for like going live and what you should do and all the steps. And I would just bolt the giveaway right in there.
Yeah, it's a new website giveaway. It's right on the art marketing calendar, like at the very top for like newbies. Like the
and
first.
We do have a call scheduled for Monday morning to have a little technical help with it.
Cool.
Okay.
I think they went over that in that workshop yesterday too. I think they intend to on all of those workshops. But yeah, you can fire away at that whenever. I mean, you could say like, hey, you could even do it after. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like you could say, I'm doing it right in advance of Mother's Day because I just launched the site. So I'm doing these back to back. Add a little sentence or two that makes you feel good and you're off and running, right?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, Tammy, I see you've got another questions. Marie hasn't answered one yet. So we'll do Marie first and then Tammy will circle back to you. Marie, go ahead.
Hey guys.
Hi, Marie.
First off, thanks for doing this again. This has been really awesome, and I'm learning way more than I probably ever did taking college courses in marketing. So hats
Awesome.
off to you guys.
And I jumped onto your Instagram live yesterday too. Did you see me?
Oh my God. I was trying to wave back at you, but it wasn't working. Always watching. Okay. It's kind of a technical question.
Go for it.
About pricing on my website. And I've had mine launched for quite a while now, but I'm kind of, I feel like the prices, I'm hoping they're set up right. I just did the basic one, the 250% thing, but it seems, I don't know if you have like a minute that you could just like look and see if the prices look right to you.
What do you mean by right?
Like, it feels like they,
Markups.
okay.
She's asking about markups.
So, okay, so if you
Is
go
it
to,
mariestevensart.com? Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
yes, yep.
Yeah.
If you go to, there's one piece called Calm that I just did the other day. And okay, if you just do like a 16 by 20 on Fuji velvet paper, it's like really inexpensive for just the paper. And then by the time you go to a print with a frame, it goes up to $532, which seems like a huge jump. Are you on there?
I'm trying to. You know, this is definitely going to have to be something that the tech team looks into. Have you had them look into this?
I have in the past, but I don't know. I thought I had it right, and then I don't know. It just seems off to me.
Let them take a deep dive into this, because that they're going to have to get into the back end and like into some of the guts. And yeah, that's what I would do. But while I'm here, I think you have too many media types.
Okay.
Share your screen, Nick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you're looking at. Okay.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, like what I say is one art paper, one metal. So like you've got like essentially 6 metals right here and 3 fine art papers.
Yeah.
Okay? So one fine art paper, one metal, one wood. Just pick the natural or the white finish, whichever one you want. One canvas, and that's it.
Is there a way to do that for all of your items all at once, or do you have to do it individually?
Yeah, you just do it on the store, not on the product.
Okay.
So when you're in editing the store, you do it there, and it'll apply to everything in that store.
Okay.
You can do it in one shot.
Okay.
I would also, Marie, just try to have like 12 sizes, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah, I've with some of them, but I haven't done them all yet.
Okay.
So that's in the works. So like, are you able to like look and see like at the price to see how it jumps up to like $500 if you're on like Fuji velvet paper for 16 by 20? And then is that a normal jump up in price?
I don't know. Like even if I saw it, I wouldn't know what to do about it. That's why I'm saying.
Okay.
I want to make sure it's not like a bug of some sort for you.
That's what I'm worried about.
The tech team can do like a deeper dive on it and just like run the calculation manually to make sure that it's correct.
Okay. I'll get a hold of them then.
Yeah. Or they'll get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Marco, can you guys help Marie with that? Contact Marie.
I had another idea for you guys. Am I still on?
Yeah, go ahead. You just got it in. I was about to drop the hammer on you.
My husband had another marketing idea that's loosely based on the whole curator influencer type thing, except it has to do with radio. And he said that he's still going to work. He's still considered essential. So on the way in, he listens to 97X, and there's this talk show going on right now. And he said they are scrambling for content because a lot of their advertisers were restaurants in different places that have been shut down, and they're not using the same kind of advertising. So they're finding themselves having to fill up a lot more of their time with content, and they're kind of scrambling. So I may potentially try to figure something out with that. And then also another idea that I had that may or may not work, but I'm still doing this little game show thing with Ben every day, doing the dinosaur thing, just until they go back to school, which I don't know when that's going to be, but if ever. But anyway, I put a thing into our local news station because they're always looking for content for, good things going on in the area and stuff. and I got a response, but no confirmation yet. It's possible I might get featured for that.
Awesome.
So.
Wonderful.
Good job.
The unconventional always works in these times, and even the radio thing's worth a shot. I mean, like, you know, there is no playbook written for this time. It's the most extraordinary time ever that any of us have ever been through. And so, you know, just execute and give it a shot. There's no rules. As long as you're getting creative, it's going to work.
Yeah,
okay,
you are getting creative, and that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Just keep going, just keep doing those things. You're thinking about this correctly.
Okay, Tammy, you're up.
Okay, two things. I need you guys to please change how you're following me on Instagram. It seems like you're following me using my personal account, which is Timmy of Dothan, instead of Timmy Fine Arts. I noticed that because I noticed it. That's that. Secondly,
just throw it in the chat and we'll get it.
Oh, okay. And the second thing is,
We're watching everything, Tammy. We're watching everything. No, just kidding.
I think I'm going to listen to you guys. My husband has spoken to me. My brothers have spoken to me, and I don't listen to those guys. And I'm the only girl. So I think I'll listen to you guys. What is your feeling about frames versus no framing? And what I mean is this. With the work that I do, I've been promoting myself as providing luxury art. So with that in mind, I feel like if it's luxury art, your artwork is supposed to be framed when it's delivered because, you know, it's luxury. But my husband and my brothers have been telling me what I should do is provide the print like everybody else, and then have the consumer take the next step with selecting the frame that they want. I understand what he's saying, but I'm thinking along the line of the consumer. If I'm going to go to your site and it's just like you want to buy a pair of shoes. I know it needs to have the laces. All I need to do is choose the color. I shouldn't have to go extra steps to, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm overdoing it or not, but do you think I should change my approach and just have the prints and then have the customer take the next step to add the frame if they want to, or should I leave it as is?
I think you need a lot. I mean, I like what I see what you're going for, and you know, let's just kind of talk it through. Like when you're forcing a frame on someone, you are adding some sort of friction. Okay, so like, and I say that because like a frame is a very personal decision, you know, and you know, and so you like, I don't love the fact that you're like, I'm imagining if I were in your shoes, what I would do, you know, I'm thinking it through. It's like, I don't love the fact that like, you know, I'm forcing a frame on them and they may want to, you know, just frame it themselves. And which a lot of people want to do, you know, in nice homes. And so you might be eliminating some conversions as a result of that. You might, you know what I mean? At the same time, you know, you're providing like a finished product, and there's a part of that that's kind of like, that feels good, where you're like, hey, no matter what you buy, it's ready to go on the wall framed, right? You know, something I'll tell you is just having been in this industry for a long time. I mean, I've been in the art industry for 20 years, and I've seen like, there's something that's kind of known, and I've been behind a lot of it. And it's that custom framing does not sell online. Custom framing. And it's just because of everything that I said. Like, it's such a personal thing. Like, and it's and it's like it's not on. I mean, it's technically it's on demand, but it's like, you know, once a framer does that, like, there's no refund unless they screwed something up, right? So and so like, what, you know, if you're going to spend like $800 on a custom frame, like, are you going to really buy that online? So frame shops have really struggled. Like, there's some software that allows like frame shops to sell custom framing online through e-commerce. And you talk to any of them and they're like, I never sold anything. Like, literally, like, nobody buys custom framing online. So what does sell online in terms of framing is simple frames, simple, cheap frames, right? Cheaper frames. So I don't know if the simple, cheaper frame is your client, or, forcing them into that. I don't know. I'm just kind of, I'm speaking about it out loud, what I'll tell you though, is that because I've seen your site, and you have other media types, and you're not going to know the answer to that question until you have a lot more traffic anyway. Right. But you could really go either way. I don't think it's going to kill you. You know what I mean? But if you really, the other thing that I would say is this, is if you're really trying to ramp things up in any business, it's always best to kind of like open up the options and then tighten them later, right? You know what I mean? Because if you open up the options, then it's like, you can always, as you know, you can always stop this from happening, right? But you will know that if somebody like is not buying your art, it's not because of that it's framed, that you're forcing a frame on them. You're like, okay, I got the sale. And now I've started getting some people who are like, hey, I wish this was just like finished and done and all that stuff. And then you're like, okay, like maybe I'll consider doing that. But at least up front, like I'm not going to shut the door on anyone right now. Do you know what I mean? That's what that's the way that I would think about it.
I think it's a good description. And also, it's more time not spent marketing. It's more time not spent marketing. Do the frames, don't do the frames. My 2 cents would be like, to Nick's point, it just, for whatever reason, it's one of those weird black holes of the internet, like trying to sell expensive frames online. It's just never worked.
Yeah.
But Nick, you want to finish with anything? Do we leave it there? 2 hours?
Yeah, we leave it there. That was that was a really good one. Lots of good topics, new topics.
Guys, thank you, all of you. Get marketing.
Good to see you guys.
Okay, bye.